Hey guys, so I'm coming at you with a new filming location. I like the lighting here way better, and I got a new shelf. I'm not sure if I'm going to paint it white or black because my other two shelves are black, but my other two shelves are still over there. They're solely TBR shelves now, and I don't know, I never got good lighting filming in front of them because the window's right in front of me. So here I have my red shelf now. These are all books that I've read and loved and I would possibly reread in the future. So I didn't keep any books. The reason that I don't have that many books is because I don't keep books that I don't like, and I don't keep books because they look nice, and I don't keep books if I don't think I'll ever reread it in the future. So I either donate books. What I've been doing actually is I've been keeping the books that I don't want to keep and I want to donate in the guest room. So if anybody stays in our guest room, then they can pick up one of those books and keep it. Today I'm going to be filming a August wrap-up. I love making wrap-ups and I haven't made one in a long time, and I love watching them. So I think I'm going to do wrap-ups and TBRs again. And I'm going to start with, real quick, the last week of July was the reading rush. So these are the two books that I finished during the reading rush. Wenjack and Mexican White Boy by Matt de la Peña. If you want to hear my thoughts about either one of these, check out my reading rush vlogs. I talked about both of these and you can see my progress as I read them. And I really enjoyed both of these. If you're looking for a good YA, all I will say is check out Matt de la Peña. Very relatable, even at my age, and even though it's YA, I feel like adults would enjoy this too. So definitely check this out. So I'm just gonna start with the books I read in August. Some of them I don't have with me because I read on my Kindle or I read on my Fire. The first book I read in August was actually one I started in July for the reading rush. So if you want to see my progress with this, check out my reading rush vlogs. But it was The Weight of Silence by Heather Gudenkauf, and as you can see on my red shelf, I don't know if you can see, but I have two Heather Gudenkauf books here. These Things Hidden and Little Mercies. Both were pretty good books. This is the book that first got me into Heather Gudenkauf, and I really enjoyed it. And basically all her books are from different perspectives of different characters, so each chapter is a different perspective. This one is about this girl Callie. She is mute, she doesn't talk, and she's 7 years old, I think, but she goes missing. Her and her best friend go missing, so you get her perspective, her friend's perspective, her mom's perspective, and I think it was the cop's perspective. But yeah, check this out. I gave it 4 stars and I really enjoyed it. The next book I read was Miracle Creek, which I will put right here, and I read that on my Kindle. I borrowed it from the library. It was one of my most anticipated reads of the year. I really enjoyed it. I gave it 5 stars. Definitely one of my favorites of 2019. They said it was for fans of Little Fires Everywhere, which I think was extremely accurate. I really enjoyed Little Fires Everywhere, and just reading this kind of reminded me of Little Fires Everywhere. This book is about this family that has this business where they have this hyperbaric chamber. So they treat people in the chamber for different conditions like infertility and autism, but then it blows up and 2 people die. So most of the book takes place in like a court setting, and the author is actually a lawyer, so I feel like a lot of it is really real and like raw and accurate, I feel like, because she is a lawyer. So I definitely recommend that one too. 5 stars, loved it, and I definitely want to own it. The next one I read was Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, and you'll actually probably see this in one of my book hauls in the future. But I got this because I didn't have it, and I had it as a kid, but I don't know where it is. And isn't this cover like way scarier than the original cover? Anyways, I enjoyed it, but I think I would have enjoyed it more if I read it as a kid again. But the illustrations, of course, were still awesome, and it wasn't like the movie because I got it so I could read it in time for the movie, but I mean, I think it would hold up well if you got this for your kid. Like if I had a kid and I got this for my kid, I think it would hold up well, but me rereading it like didn't hold up too well, and I ended up giving this 3 stars. So these next ones I read were for the Getgraphic-a-thon, I think that's what it's called, but I'll link the details down below. Kayla from Bookadoodles was one of the hosts, and yeah, I participated and I got a lot read, so I'll just quickly go over those. I read Alita Volume 2, which I will link the picture right here, and number 1 is about this doctor that finds this cyborg head and kind of reconstructs the cyborg, and the cyborg becomes Alita, Battle Angel Alita. So that was number 1. I really enjoyed number 1, and I enjoyed the movie even though a lot of people didn't. So that's why I read number 1, and this time I read number 2. And I read volume 3 for the Getgraphic-thon, which I will link in here. I gave volume 2 and 3 4 stars, I think it was, and I really enjoyed them so far. The next one I read was Gaio, I think that's how you say it. I've had this for a really long time and I finally picked it up. Sorry, my thumb, I cut it so it still hurts, but the illustrations are awesome, and it's just about like all of a sudden like these let me show you a picture. These like fish with legs come out of the water and start like invading the city, and let me see if I can find a picture. It starts stinking up the place, and it's just like kind of like a horror manga. I can't find a picture right now. Oh, here we go. So these are the ones that start like taking over. I really enjoyed this, and I definitely want to pick up the second one, and I ended up giving this I think I ended up giving this 4 stars. The next 2 I read, I will put a picture right here, was Goliath Girls Volume 1 and Goliath Girls Volume 2, and it's about these 3 girls that fight these like monsters, but also they kind of protect them because they don't want people to kill them. And I don't know, I liked it enough to go on to volume number 2, but I didn't like it enough to finish it. But it's free on Amazon, I think it was, where I read it. I ended up giving both of these 3 stars, I think. And then I read The Manhattan Projects Volume 1. I've had this for a really, really long time, and I finally picked it up. I actually really, really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to read the rest of the volumes. And I found out my library has them digitally through that Hoopla app I've been like raving about in my videos. This is about the Manhattan Project, but really it's about what these like scientists and Germans and Americans are doing behind the scenes. While people, I guess, are focusing on the atomic bomb, like they're focusing on other things. Albert Einstein is in this, which is really cool, and there's other like scientists, and yeah, the artwork was pretty, like, I would say like old schoolish kind of. I really liked it still, so I really enjoyed this. I definitely recommend picking it up. Even if you're new to graphic novels, it's a good one to pick up. The next one I read for a Getgraphic-a-thon was what was it? Oh, Fun Home. I read Fun Home, which everyone raved about, okay? So I'm gonna put a picture right here. Everyone raved about it, gave it 5 stars, loved it, but I don't know, like, I feel bad giving it a low rating because it's like a memoir in a graphic novel form, but I just really, like, really struggled to get through it and really dragged. I think if they eliminated half of the graphic novel, it would have been way better. It's about this girl that comes out but also finds out that her father has been gay all along, and there's a lot of references to literature, and I think that kind of like took away from the story. So I really wish that they would have taken all that stuff out, but I ended up giving it 2 stars, I think. The next one I read was called Sugar Falls. I'll put it right here. It honestly didn't even have that many reviews on Goodreads, so I reviewed it if you want to check it out. I'll link my Goodreads down below. This one is about this boy, and for a school project he has to go interview I think it was like this girl's aunt, his friend's aunt, I think it was. So this graphic novel is about the aunt telling her story, and tells the story of her being in a residential school and how horrible it was, and life before and after and stuff. If you're new to the topic of Indigenous kids getting taken away in Canada and being put in residential schools, this is definitely a good little like intro graphic novel to read, so you can learn more about it. But I really enjoyed it, and it's definitely underrated, and I ended up giving it 4 stars. And then I read Home After Dark, which I read something else by this author. I don't remember now, but I will put the picture here. This one was weird, but I think it was still good enough to where like it kept me wanting to read more. It's about this boy, he gets bullied, he runs away, he has a hard time, and it's just about his life, but it's not a memoir, but it's kind of written like one. It's not a true story though. I don't know if I would recommend this one. I don't know if your library has it, maybe you should check it out there, but I ended up giving it 3 stars, I think. That is it for my wrap up. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry I'm like all over the place kind of, and this video is probably gonna be like more edited than usual because I haven't done a wrap up in so long, and I have bad memory, so I forget what books are about. Look out for my September TBR. I think I'm gonna be putting that up soon to share what I'm gonna be reading in September, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be doing wrap-ups and TBRs every month from now on. I really like doing them, so you'll probably see them on my channel. And yeah, if you want to discuss anything I mentioned today, or any books you read that were amazing in August, or what you plan on reading in September, let me know in the comments down below. I will see you guys in the next video.